Welcome to Beverly Hills, California. Today we're showcasing this newly constructed architectural home. Between its layout, how it interacts with its environment, unique utilities, and the material selection throughout really makes this property stand out. And that's why we will go into extensive detail to cover its features and amenities. Also, we have a special guest joining us for this episode, and we can't wait to share this home with all of you. In fact, let's go right in. All right, let's start our tour on the exterior. We have the gates behind me opening up to this long driveway that takes you up all the way to the motor court. Now, what I like about this driveway is the fact that it features interlocking pavers. This is a long driveway and it's built on a slope, so it's important to maintain the integrity of this driveway over the years. And these interlocking pavers just provide additional strength, which is super nice. And I just love this cobblestone feel. Now behind me you can see the 3-car garage, and this is also a great area for us to take a look at all 3 levels of this property. Lower floor features the stucco finish, and on the middle and top section we have wood paneling. What I like about this finish is the fact that they use different sizes of panels for each floor to create additional dimension. And then we have all these casement windows, and this side of the property is a little bit discreet because we're facing the front of the property, but you still get a lot of natural light from this section. And then we have this brick finish here. In fact, you can see a little bit better above me, providing additional dimension. And even within the brick, they installed it both vertical and horizontal to create additional dimension. Facade looks really cool. House is situated on this amazing lot. Surrounding landscape is so beautiful, and house is very private. In fact, it's nicely set back from the street. And then we have the staircase here taking you to the front door, or you can simply follow this driveway and go up to the motor court. The arrival experience is super cool. We have all these mature trees, and the interlocking paved driveway transitions to this concrete driveway with gravel details in between. It's a really nice, spacious, and a private motor court where you can easily park 4 to 6 cars. And obviously we have the house on this side, but first I want to bring everybody to this section so we can talk about the views. This property is situated on this ridge, and you get phenomenal views of the canyon that's right in front of us. You can actually see additional parking spot right there, and you get this really cool opening straight from your motor court, which is fantastic. And again, I love these mature trees that are covering this motor court. In fact, they've embraced the one on this side, built a planter around it, landscaped it nicely, and with all the outdoor lighting, I'm sure this motor court is gonna look fantastic later in the afternoon. Now let's talk about the house itself. It looks really deceiving from this angle. In fact, you can only see the top 2 floors. And the same brick finish wraps to this side. And I keep saying brick finish because this house actually doesn't have full-size real bricks. They have brick tiles. It's about 1/5 thickness of a real brick. It basically does the same job in regards to looks. You can obviously see the way they've installed it with all the mortar joints. It looks like a real brick wall, but it's a whole lot easier to install. And think about it as an additional waterproofing layer above the exterior of this property. And in my opinion, it looks great. And now you might be asking, how do you know whether it's a real brick or it's just a brick tile? Well, there are a couple clues you can pick on. From the exterior, the easiest way to understand that is the fact that they don't have any of these small openings on the bottom layer to allow water to leave the brick wall in case it gets behind it. So, Cody, just so you can kind of understand and picture it a little bit better, when you have these mortar joints, over time, these joints can fail, which means water can get behind it. So when you install a brick wall, you leave a little gap between the house and the brick wall, and on the bottom, you leave small openings. That way any water and moisture that gets behind the brick wall can exit the property without harming the interior.
That makes sense.
And when you look at it here, you don't have any holes because this is not a real brick wall. All it is an additional layer above the exterior finish. That's why, or that's how you can tell it from the exterior that it's just a brick tile.
It's very interesting. And how much more cost effective is brick tile compared to traditional brick?
From a cost perspective, in regards to the material price, it's not that much difference.
Got it.
But in regards to labor, it's a whole lot cheaper. Obviously, brick is so much more heavier. It's so much more technical to install. So this gives you both efficiency and you still get the looks. And installed well, it can perform just as good as a brick.
It's pretty cool.
It's super cool, right? Now, the other detail I want to talk about, in between these concrete sections, we have the gravel sections and they're glued in. That way you can keep this nice clean look. In fact, Cody was mentioning this earlier. You can see it a little bit better on the corner here since they have the glue. And then we have a step-up section here. The stone material used on this side is carried out throughout the entire property, so you have a nice continuation. Wood paneling starts here, and we love a good floor-to-ceiling pivot door that opens up to the foyer of this property. I really like how spacious this section is, and some of the materials that we saw on the exterior are also brought in between the tile floors. Brick that wraps these columns. The wood paneling on the ceiling provides a lot of warmth, and I also really like how they use the same wood paneling throughout the interior. In fact, look at the length of this hallway. It goes all the way to the other wing, and we have a massive 50-foot opening here that connects the center of the home to the backyard, and we're going to cover that section later. And over on this side, to provide additional warmth and life to this entry, they have a 10-foot living wall. Now, I have to mention something. Earlier on, when I saw this wall for the first time, I thought the landscaping here was faux. Turns out these are real plants. Some of them are so vibrant, the color is so good. I thought that it was just a faux wall, but no, this is a live, living wall. You can actually see the soil on some of the sections, and it just brings a lot of color to the entry. And then to create some separation between the foyer and the living room, they have these wood slats. And to provide some strength to these wood slats, because they're thin, they have the rod piece running right in the center that just gives additional integrity. And yeah, this is a really nice entry. Look at this picture frame that's behind me. They went out of their way to recess in the frame of the window to make this opening look as seamless as possible. And you can see the cover section of the patio here. Really nice entry. And before we continue our tour with the living room, I want to quickly get the specs of this property out of the way. We have 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 8,829 square feet of interior space, built on a 0.58 acre lot, designed by Noah Walker, and we will talk about him later in the tour. On the market for $24 million. And I want to give big thanks to the listing agents, Josh Flagg and Spencer Payson, for making this tour possible. And as always, you can find more information about this listing in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. And with that, we're done with the foyer. The next space we're going to tour is the formal living room. This is one of my favorite sections of this property. I really like how it connects to the outdoors. We have massive sliding glass doors opening up. You have your L-shaped sectional couch, solid wood coffee table here, nice cozy seating. It's not a super big room, but it has this nice cozy energy. And then we have the built-ins on this side. This is all oak, and the same cabinetry and the countertops actually continue to the other side where we have the bar. And you have the cabinetry space here, some open shelving with glass shelves. And then the center section, they place this art, but obviously you can take off the art and place your TV here. That way you can make this a nice cozy screening room as well. Now I want to point out a detail here. Cody, can we pan up to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Do you see the reveal detail right there between the oak paneling and the ceiling?
Yeah.
So a lot of these modern homes feature these reveal details. It allows you to blend two materials together but create separation at the same time. None of these homes are ever perfect, meaning it would be ideal to have all of your walls, all of your ceilings perfectly level, but sometimes you have imperfections. And having reveals like that allow you to work with the imperfections and still create a nice, visually true look. So you have the utility, you have the functionality, and we're gonna see this reveal detail throughout the home.
I think it's pretty cool that you can, as a designer, incorporate a little bit of a margin for error in your building too. And I also want to say, like, aesthetically, I like the fact that they can blend these two different wood tones together seamlessly. Like, that's pretty hard to do, especially with wood.
Exactly, and it complements that minimalist look that this house is going for, right?
Definitely.
As soon as you join two materials together, sometimes those edges can be not so pretty. And when you have a reveal detail like this, you can be a little bit more minimalist. All right, let's go to the next space. We have this nice open corner, additional seating, but I want to turn this way so we can talk about this beautiful bar. They use the same marble to fabricate the entire section. You have your dual elevation countertops, book match up front, your bar seating, oak paneling wraps in, and Cody, can we bring everybody to this section? You actually have a lot of countertop space and cabinetry because they wanted to keep this section compact. The cabinetry here is a little bit more shallow than this side, and this bar has it all. You have your fridge, you have your wine fridge, ice maker, and your sink is on this side with some open shelving, and it faces your courtyard, your beautiful backyard. It's a really interactive property, and that's what I really like about it. In fact, let's take everybody to the edge for a second. The whole property, all these rooms connect to each other, which is super cool. Thanks to this layout, you have more sliding glass doors here, again, opening up, and it's so easy to step outside and step right back in. Now, Cody, can we bring everybody to this section? Before we leave the living room, I also want to point out, we have a really nice powder bathroom here with a floating vanity, natural stone countertops, and they use the same stone as a back wall with a recessed mirror and LED lighting. So it's a really spacious powder bathroom for the entry and for the formal living room. Now, let's come back to the foyer. We have a small closet space here, your coat closet, and now behind this living wall, we have the formal dining room. Let's go quickly check it out. Right in the center, we have this circular table. I believe it's at 7, if I am counting it correctly, maybe 8. And I'm gonna quickly fix this chair. And to match the circular theme, they also have a circular light fixture above. You have your cozy fireplace, plaster walls to give additional warmth. And this section is a little secluded, but it connects to the kitchen very easily, which is on the other side. And to complement the dining experience, you have your wine bowl that is temperature controlled. It's a nice addition. Given the size of this property, this wine bowl complements this space really well. And it's just a nice intimate dining area. Behind Cody, we also have these lone casement windows that we saw up front, bringing additional light to this space. And yeah, just a great dining area. And then on the other side, we have this door opening up to the chef's kitchen. Again, considering the size of this property, it's pretty impressive that it comes with a chef's kitchen. And this room is great. I mean, you have your cabinetry, uppers, lowers, dishwasher, sink, your 30-inch gas cooktop, oversized subway tiles that are glazed, and they kept this oversized subway tile theme throughout the property. It's just well located right next to your dining area, and I feel like this space would get a lot of use. Now, I want to bring everybody back to the dining room. Quickly want to point this out. We have an easy access to the kitchen, but we want to take everybody this way so we can talk about that massive 50-foot opening before we cover the kitchen. I mean, take it all in. Look at the span here. The fact that I have no columns behind me, the entire space just opens up, and these are motorized sliding glass doors. So push of a button, you open up the entire span and connect the interior of the home to the exterior. And I know here, everything looks a little seamless and effortless, but to create a massive opening like this, you need to have massive steel beams and columns. And keep in mind, we still have the second floor above us. But I think the developer here made the right call, made the investment to create a span like this. And what better way to experience California weather than having an opening like this where you connect your interior spaces to the exterior properly.
100%.
Now, another detail I want to point out, can we pan down to the floors? I want to showcase these tracks. Obviously, we have Fleetwood glass doors throughout the property, and they look great, function really well, and they're all about that minimalist look. That's why these tracks are embedded over the concrete foundation, and then one by one, they layer these tiles in between these tracks. That way, you just expose just the right amount of tracks to keep these sliding glass doors in place, but at the same time, you can still maintain your minimalist look. This is really painstaking, but I think it's well worth the effort, especially when you have an architectural home like this. So I wanted to point this out. Installing tiles in between these tracks is not easy.
I was gonna say that looks like a lot of math.
Yes, it's painstaking, but you wanna make sure it looks good, and look how seamless everything comes together. Another detail I wanna point out, today is the day where I'm covering all the details. Can we pan up to the ceiling now? Do you see that little reveal detail between the wood paneling and the edge of the roof?
I do.
Now, that's a drip edge, and the reason they placed that little track is so that when it rains and you have water running on the surface of the house, and it would generally or organically want to tie down and run on this overhang and get all of your overhangs wet, and it can eventually seep into your house. But when you have a little drip edge like that, the water stops right there and comes down. It's a very clever detail.
Yeah.
And obviously you have these massive overhangs around the house to protect the sliding glass doors and give additional protection to the overall structure. But that little drip edge detail is a nice touch, and they have it throughout the entire perimeter. I wanted to mention that.
I didn't know that. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. This house has a lot of these little details. Now, I've totally forgot that we have the kitchen over on this side. Let's cover this space, which is also amazing. We have two massive islands that are marble clad. They're also book matched. We have the first bar seating here, and behind the second island, we have the second bar seating. Wood clad ceilings, oak cabinetry throughout. You have two distinct sections, and these light fixtures, they create a nice color difference between the ceiling and the light tone cabinetry here. And Cody, let's go to this side first. We have the 60-inch Wolf gas stove, your pot filler, marble backsplash. They went with this minimalist tone, and to create a little pop of color, they have these dark handles throughout. And then coming to the center section, again, these islands are oversized, which I really appreciate. You get great countertop space. And the one to my left features a small sink, sub-zero fridge with bar seating on the back. And on the other side, we have the microwave, warming drawer below it, dishwasher, and we have the sink here. Again, you get fantastic views straight from your kitchen. And we also have a water purifier here, which works fantastic. We've been using it the last few hours. Tastes great. And this is where we have the rest of the kitchen. Again, same oak cabinetry, espresso maker. We have the fridge on this side, freezer right here, nicely paneled. And they left this section open. It's like your little coffee bar. And if you want to go for more of that minimalist look, you also have these pocket doors on each side. That way you can seal off this section. And with that, we're done with the kitchen. Now let's continue our tour. We got more to see. Again, this opening is fantastic. And we have the staircase here going down to the lower level as well as the second floor. I really like how they left this section open. They could have easily put a wall here and close off this section, but instead they wanted to go for that airy feel. You have open risers, steel frame, glass railing, and every single one of these steps are lit below the step. So at night, I'm sure this section is gonna look great, and you can see those casement windows behind the staircase for that additional natural light, and then space flows to your family room. Now, this is a fantastic seating area, and there are a lot of details here that I would like to cover. But before we do that, I actually want to talk about Mikey. I know a lot of you have been asking, where's Mikey? What's his status? Is he still working with the channel? So I want to address some of your concerns. At the end of last year, Mikey took a long, well-deserved break from our channel. You have to understand the work we do is very stressful. You're constantly shooting and editing videos, being in front of camera, being in front of public eye. So this work can be very stressful. That's why when Mikey decided to take this break, we wanted to respect his privacy and provide him as much space as possible. Now, having this time off gave both Mikey and I a chance to think about the future, think about the things that we want to work on in the future, and we realized that it's maybe better off for both of us to go our own separate ways. Now, you may say, Enes, why did it take so long for you guys to announce this? Well, you have to understand, we wanted to make the best decisions possible, weigh our options, and really take this all in. And that's why I want to announce it now that Mikey and I are no longer working together on the channel. But on a brighter note, Mikey and I are working on a very special project, which I'm really excited about, that we will announce over the next few months. And also, just so you can see the man himself and hear his thoughts, we have Mikey here. In fact, Mikey, why don't you walk in frame?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me. Y'all know that I'm really bad in front of camera typically. I get a little bit nervous in general, but it feels really weird to be back in one of these, luxury estates standing next to Ennis. I've been gone for a really long time. And like Ennis said, there's been a lot of speculation in the comments, but a lot of outrageous speculation as well. But most all of it being wrong. Like Ennis said, this job is extremely demanding, and going through everything we've gone through over the last few years, it was my entire life, and that took its toll mentally, physically, and I just reached the point where I needed a total reset, and I needed to take some time off. So I traveled the world a little bit. I went to the Philippines. I explored. I really did everything I could to try to bring my headspace back into a healthy place, and now I feel like I'm finally there. So having said that, mentally was first, physically is next. I'm going to get ahead of any of these comments right now. Yeah, also like Ennis said, we have a new project coming up together, which we'll announce in the next month or two, probably, yeah. And I'm really excited for that. So y'all stay tuned. I'm also working on a personal project myself. I'm not really sure if I'm going to post it on YouTube yet, but if you follow me on Instagram, I'll give you an update when it's time. Anything else?
That's pretty much it. I think you've explained it.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. It does feel a little bit weird to us as well. You've been gone for a minute.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you back with your mental health, and I hope you enjoy the time off. I look forward to having mine at some point.
It was nice. It was very nice. Next, if Ennis disappears and someone else goes on camera, don't speculate. You'll know that he's on a beach somewhere relaxing.
Hopefully, look forward to it.
But yeah, there's a beautiful living room behind me. Enjoy the tour, and I hope to see you all again soon.
Mikey, it's good to have you, and then I guess we'll continue our tour.
Yeah.
All right, now, the first thing I want to talk about this seating area is the fact that it has fantastic volume. The double height ceiling here is fantastic. If that wasn't enough, we also have a massive skylight here for additional natural light, and they brought some of the exterior elements to the interior here with the wood paneling. And if that wasn't enough, they also matched the reveal to showcase that separation between the upper section of the wood paneling and the lower section. Then we have plaster on this side for the additional character, your seamless fireplace, and of course, right in the center, you have your seating area. It looks cozy, inviting, your coffee table with all these books and accessories. Art on this side, and because we have such high ceilings, they place the built-in speakers to this side, because if they're up there, you're gonna have a hard time hearing, or you're gonna bother the second floor. Another detail that I like is the fact that chef's kitchen to formal dining room to the kitchen, this space is all connected on the backside as well. It's like all these walls that separate these spaces from each other are set in the center. That way you can access it from each side of the room. In fact, this little hallway here takes you to the elevator landing that's on this side. And with that, I think we covered all the details in the living room. Let's take everybody to this side. In fact, I want to cover two additional details here. Number one, I know you like this, Cody. Grout lines are matching from the interior to the exterior. It's all about that minimalist look. And the second detail, we talked about the brick tiles here. Some people like their brick painted. Some people like to leave it exposed. Where do you stand with that?
You know, I like both, but I would say the natural brick I like a little bit more. Like, I lived in New York for a couple of years, and all of the lofts with the natural brick walls, like the character and the stories that these walls have, like covering it with paint is necessary in some circumstances, like that house that we shot in La Jolla.
Yes.
That was done very, very well. But for this house, like the natural brick does it for me.
I hear you. Great 2 points. I agree that House in La Jolla, they did a fantastic job owning that painted look. I'm with you in regards to character, and obviously brick ages over time and just picks up a unique patina.
Definitely.
And it just has that additional character. But when you paint brick, you're just basically putting another layer of protection on top, especially on the exterior.
That's a
You
good point.
Over time, these mortar joints can fail, brick can crack. When you have flexible paint on top of masonry walls, it's just a perfect combination because brick has that strength, has that protection, and now you have the paint for that additional waterproofing. It is the perfect scenario. For me, it's case by case, right?
Yeah.
I like the look, but sometimes you gotta paint your brick to get that additional layer.
Fair enough.
All right, now let's talk about this hallway. To my right, we have the powder bathroom. Let's go have a quick look. Another floating vanity, countertop space. I like this big reveal. And then you have the backsplash, wall mount fixture. This graph chrome fixture actually looks very elegant. Really like the handle. And I want to mention something. The other day I was at a restaurant and they had a faucet that was countertop mounted. And it was so low that when I was washing my hands, I was literally touching the sink. Anybody out there that has a vanity or sink, if your hands are touching the sink while you're washing your hands, that's a no-go. Like
100%.
you have to fix that. Either get a wall mount, which gives you that additional space, or get a faucet that's high up. That way you have enough clearance. I personally like wall mount because I like to leave my countertops nice and clean and you don't have to fabricate. But this technique is a little bit more expensive because you got to install that infrastructure now into the wall, which requires a little bit more planning.
Yeah, but it's little things like that and small investments that just like make your overall quality of life a little bit better.
100%. This is one of those details when you look at it on face value, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that really elevates a space.
Couldn't agree more.
And speaking of elevating a space, they also brought the
More
tiles
brick.
here. Exactly. And then we have a separate water closet here with plaster walls. Now, let's go to the other side. We actually have a really good size bedroom suite on the first floor. Comes with a king size bed. I again appreciate the fact that ceilings are all wood clad. You have your reveal details. Room is great size. And we get two massive casement windows. I say casement because the bottom sections are fixed, but the top sections open up. In fact, from this window, you get fantastic views. The area that we're in is basically on top of Beverly Hills. So you get these dramatic landscapes, beautiful mountains and canyons, but we're 15 to 20 minutes from the heart of the city. I personally like this area a lot, and I'll talk more about it later. But from this bedroom, you get to experience it in a really cool way. Then we have the walk-in closet. It's pretty standard. You have your built-in section, your hanger space, has its own little door. And then around the corner, we have the bathroom for this room. So let's go have a quick look. Same tiles also go into the space. They didn't create a threshold for the shower. It seamlessly goes in and we have the drain here. So there's a nice little gentle slope, your marble bench, tile walls, rain head, chrome fixtures, and then we have the vanity here. Sorry, I got excited. I went to the shower first, and then your oak cabinetry, marble countertops, chrome fixtures, really nice bathroom. And now let's go back to the hallway so we can check out the next spaces. What do you think so far, Cody?
So far, I really like this house. It's very consistent in terms of its design style, and even little hallways like this are just really well done. Like we brought up the reveals earlier. These hallways have that same reveal, and it makes it feel more like an art gallery.
Speaking of an art gallery.
Exactly.
That's literally what I thought as we were walking this hallway. You have great volume, great ceiling height, makes it perfect for you to place your art throughout the home. And again, going with that minimalist theme, these are not just homes, these are properties, these are places that you interact with, it complements your lifestyle. So it's nice to have a home that where every little corner is thought out and it serves some sort of a purpose.
100%.
Now, let's take everybody this way. We have a really cool office here. Before we go check out the office itself, let's go check out the bathroom. And I'm assuming the reason they've designed an elaborate bathroom like this is the fact that in case somebody wants to turn this room into a bedroom, they can easily do that. You have your long floating vanity, again, beautiful marble countertops, LED lit mirror, plaster walls, you can see the character, and plaster walls allow you to use the same finish in the showers because plaster can be waterproof.
I didn't know that actually.
Yes, that's what makes it so nice. In fact, let me open the glass here. Depending on the type of plaster you use, it's waterproof. That's basically, it's a type of stucco. Think about it that way. So if you want to really design a space and make it feel minimalist, you can just carry the same wall finish into your shower. Make sure you have proper waterproofing behind the plaster wall. You're good to go.
It's very cool. I didn't know that.
It's super cool, and I like how the chrome looks against the plaster walls. Your separate water closet, and I know, Cody, you're so excited for this detail. Laundry chute.
That's crazy. Like I was telling you earlier, I've only seen these on like TikTok and Instagram Reels, and I've never seen one in a house.
You know, it's so funny. I was at the lower level, and one of the ceiling panels were off, and I was checking out the infrastructure, and I saw these massive PVC pipes. I'm like, these are a little too oversized as plumbing pipes. They are for the built-in laundry chutes throughout the property, because you have to have a big diameter to be able to throw towels in there and your other laundry stuff. And it's a clever touch. It's a nice amenity.
It is. And for the people in the audience who don't know what this is, can you give them a little explainer?
Basically, whenever you have dirty laundry, anything you want to throw here, if I can get it to function, there we go. It opens up.
It's a little vacuum.
It's a vacuum. And you just throw your clothes in there, and it collects in a central location somewhere, probably at the lower level. And then from there, it probably connects to your laundry room, actually.
Exactly.
And then from there, you can just wash it and bring it back here.
It's pretty cool.
It's a super nice touch. We don't see it that often, so I wanted to point that out. We also have a closet space here, again, in case you want to turn this room into a bedroom. And then, welcome to the office. Gets great light. Opens up to the backyard. We have the desk here, little seating area on the other side. They left it nice and open. Again, you can do a lot with this space. And in fact, let's walk outside for a second so we can just connect to the room next door, which is your gym. I like that they picked this space for the gym because you have the corner open, you can enjoy the views, make your gym experience a little bit more exciting. Sometimes in some of the homes that we tour, gyms are on the lower level or in spaces that are not the most ideal. You want to make your working out experience as pleasurable as possible.
Exactly.
Now you have the views, now you have your pool on this side, and it's just a nice open space. You have some mirrors here. Again, this wood ceiling has so much depth, and they also have some mood lighting throughout. So again, at night, I'm sure this property is gonna look great. We have the built-ins here, fridge. What better way to end your workout with a nice cold drink, you know?
Exactly.
I appreciate this touch. And Cody, let's go in. Let's see. To our left, we have the bathroom, but to my right, we have the same hallway that we pointed out earlier. And we wanna go back here one more time because we have a sauna here with a salt block wall. And Cody, you were mentioning earlier why having a sauna with a salt block wall makes it better.
Exactly. Like the heat from the sauna activates the salt, and it's just really good for like the respiratory system, cleans out the sinuses, and it just like promotes like an overall more relaxing vibe when you're in the sauna.
That's cool, and it also provides a nice backdrop. This is
Definitely.
cool. Kind of satisfying to look at.
It almost looks like onyx at first look.
It does, you're right. And I'm sure they're picking certain colors because it has this like white to red kind of color contrast throughout.
It's very cool.
Super cool. Now, let's go back to the gym because I want to talk about the design of this bathroom here. Another laundry chute, by the way. And then we have this open, spacious bathroom. They brought the same plaster walls to this section, and I really like how the plaster transitions to the tile where we have the walk-in shower. And this section here is actually very seamless. They're flush. When you're designing a bathroom, you frame the room according to your needs, and then from there you put drywall, and on top of the drywall you install your finished surface, whatever you like, plaster, paint, or tiles. And sometimes people don't plan this really well, and they will end up installing the tiles on top of their back walls where you have the walk-in shower because you gotta have a specific waterproof surface before you can install the tiles. And that's why a lot of the bathrooms, you'll see these tiles sticking out a little bit more above the finished surface. So they thought about that ahead of time and make sure they've compensated the spacing accordingly so that these surfaces look flush. which is a nice touch. And then they use the oversized glazed subway tiles, again, tying the theme together. And personally, I think it looks great. Instead of installing it horizontal, they've installed it vertical and they stacked it to give that kind of mid-century Scandinavian look. And then you have your built-in bench. This one also has a steam feature, your chrome fixtures, great ceiling height, a little bit of a mood light. Not only they glass enclosed it, they also installed this little vent here to let the steam out, which is very satisfying.
It is.
I mean, just like look how seamless and effortless this vent is. Super nice, yeah?
Very, very nice.
Okay, Cody, I want to ask you a question.
Ask me.
So as you can see, they've cut the glass around the built-in bench here and they sealed it off. Why do you think they went with that direction?
I would say to keep the water in and make sure it's nice and tight. I can also notice that the bench is a little sloped so water doesn't like pool up, especially on the borders of the glass. But I don't know, am I missing something else?
No, you're not. But think about it for a second. They have to do this because they only have few options. If they wanted to flush the glass against this section, right?
Yeah.
Rather than cutting it, now you're creating this awkward little gap between the finished material and the glass.
That's true.
And what if water gets in there?
Yeah.
Now you cannot clean it. It will create mold and it will just cause a bunch of problems.
Yeah.
Your other option is you need to set this glass so far forward that you create an area here between the bench and the glass wall that you can reach and clean if you need to.
But you can't really use anything. It serves no purpose.
Exactly. So your best option is you cut the glass around the bench just on the edge. That way you can keep this area open and still maintain the waterproofing on the interior.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah, so nobody thinks about these, but when you're developing properties, you have to make bazillion decisions like this. And this is one of them, and they ended up cutting the glass here.
It's pretty smart.
All right, that's it for the bathroom. Now, let's walk outside so we can check out the grounds. And this property is super cool. Again, we've been talking about its design, the U-shape, how you have the courtyard in the center, and the entire property is facing these views, which is fantastic. Now, off of the gym, we have a small outdoor seating area here, framed by these 4 trees, super quaint. And then we have the rest of the backyard on this side with this amazing pool right in the center. But before we talk about the details here, I want to talk about the neighborhood that we're in. This home is situated in the community of Oak Pass Road, which is a gated community within the Beverly Hills post office area, meaning it shares the same zip code as City of Beverly Hills, but it's actually connected to the City of Los Angeles. Some of the homes here, the early homes were built around 1930s, but the majority of the homes and properties were developed around 1950s and 1960s. What I like about this neighborhood is the fact that it's 15 to 20 minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city, but then you get this serene setting, which is fantastic. That's why a lot of celebrities really like this neighborhood, and people like Mark Wahlberg, Jessica Alba, Channing Tatum used to live here. This neighborhood strikes that perfect balance because you want to be close to the action, but at the same time you want your home to be a sanctuary, a place that you can relax, and that's why this neighborhood really stands out to me. And on top of that, within an established neighborhood, your home is technically brand new, which is great. And looking at this angle here, seeing the pool right in the center, obviously this pool is the focal point of this backyard. But for me, what really stands out about this property is its layout. I love how the entire first floor interacts with each other. I mean, look at all these spaces and how they just flow to the outdoors. And then you can see the wood tones, the details that we've been covering throughout. Noah Walker and his team designed this property, and I think they did a fantastic job. And throughout the city, they've also developed some incredible properties. I've never gotten a chance to meet Noah in person, but they do great work. In fact, within this neighborhood, they have also designed another property that I was fortunate enough to see about 5 years ago. And that home is fantastic as well. And I can really see their attention to detail, how they're analyzing the property and coming up with a layout that really provides function for the homeowners.
I completely agree. A lot of the mansions that we see have the more traditional layout of a separated formal living room, and in a house like this, everything's connected, so you're not wasting any space, especially when you have parties, have people over, stuff like that.
And I feel like some of the homes that we tour, you see spaces that are indoors and outdoors where you know it's not gonna get used a lot. But I feel like when I look at this home and analyze the spaces, I would use all of it. And it's so easy and effortless. It's so easy to go from one room to another. And again, that's what I really like about it.
Totally.
Now, let's continue this way. And again, we're gonna come back to the pool, but for now, I wanna bring everybody to the barbecue area. We have an outdoor dining section that's right in the center. Again, framed by 4 trees, sprinklers just turned on, but we're gonna continue our tour. In fact, Cody, can you come over to this side? We have the barbecue area here. They brought the same brick tile design. You have your grill, gas cooktop, sink, fridge, and it's a cool spot. I mean, I wouldn't mind cooking some meals here, looking at these views.
You know what would be a good add-on to this? A pizza oven.
That would be a
With
great
the brick?
add-on.
Yeah.
I like that. And you kind of have the countertop
You do.
space here if
Totally.
you need to. All right, now Cody, can we turn back so we can talk about the pool, which is, again, the focal point of the backyard. It's also a good way to show your built-in sprinkler system. They also have recessed in light fixtures around the perimeter here. So at night, you can light up this backyard beautifully. And then we have another little seating area here with a fire pit right in the center, just for you to sit down and enjoy this property. But now I want to bring everybody to the edge of the pool so we can check out this zero entry point, which is not something we see often. In fact, Cody, can we go down a little bit? I want everybody to see and experience this. It's super cool. You basically walk into your pool, plaster, looks great. You have your raised hot tub. I feel like it kind of adds up to the zenness of this property. You still have the amazing views. It's a pretty cool setup.
It really is, especially when you're in the pool and you're making some waves. It kind of like flows up to the edge of this edge like you're at the beach.
This is cool. This is something different. Beautiful property. Love the backdrop. But now let's take the stairs, go down to the lower level so we can check out some of the other amenities. So the lower level consists of 2 wings. On this wing, we have the utility areas. This door opens up to a really nice powder bathroom with a casement window and a separate water closet. And then coming to this hallway, this door opens up to the laundry room where you have the stacked washer and dryer, cabinetry, and you also have access to your laundry jet, which is the central laundry chute system that we talked about upstairs. And there's a utility room at the end where you can access the central vacuum system that we will talk about later. And then you have your elevator and few closets for storage. Now, let's go check out the wing that's on the other side. Same tile floors continue. The door at the end opens up to the 3-car garage that we mentioned earlier. And lastly, we have these double doors opening up to the screening room. Space is nice and cozy. We have the screen on this side, padded walls, really cool casement windows here, and you can actually see the driveway. And then we have 2-tier seating, projector on this side, darker tones, built-in speakers. It's a nice movie theater, or someone can turn the space into an office and put a door here so you have easy access to your driveway as well. And that's pretty much it for the lower level. Now let's go all the way upstairs so we can check out the top floor. It's nice that they left the staircase open. That way, your arrival experience to the second floor is grand and airy. You can also see these vertical wood slats providing additional dimension and warmth to the second floor. And on this side, we have a long hallway that connects the left wing to the right wing. In fact, behind me, we have a massive pivot door that opens up to the primary bedroom suite, which will tour last, great space. And behind Cody, we have 2 bedroom suites. But before we go there, I want to quickly float to the outdoors so we can check out this balcony that's right in the center of the second floor. Great outdoor space. We have a small seating area here, fantastic views. It's so zen. You can see some of the treetops, beautiful olive tree right in front of me. It's a great space, and it's a great way to set the tone for the second floor. Now, I want to talk about 2 details here. Number 1, these roof rafters that carry all the way to the other side. They wanted to have some openness within the space, but provide some shade. That's why they kept the roof structure elements, which are these massive beams, instead of leaving this entire space open. But when you have beams like that sticking out, you have to clad them with an exterior material, which is why they use the siding. But the most important element here is the metal cap that sits on top. Because these beams are flat, over time, rainwater can collect on top and cause rotting. So the only way to avoid that is by having these metal caps. That's why I wanted to point it out. And then we also have outdoor lighting here. And if you want to take your entertainment to the next level, you have an outdoor plug here with a waterproof case and a cover plate. That's for your future TV connection. Wanted to mention that. And again, fantastic views. Now, let's walk right back in so we can check out these two guest suites that are located on the right wing. To my right, we have some storage space, another laundry chute, and then on the other side, we have the elevator, and behind this little outlet, we have a built-in vacuum system. This is super cool. Check this out. You have your connection here.
Interesting. So what is the advantage of using something like this compared to a traditional household vacuum?
Well, it's convenience. Number two, imagine you have a vacuum cleaner here and you're trying to keep the cable straight, not bash against the walls. You don't have any baseboard. These homes, you got to be really careful in regards to how you utilize it and how you maintain them. So having a system like this makes it more convenient. It's probably more powerful than regular vacuums. I'm not an expert in this particular space, and it's just an overall convenience. You know, you can just hook, pull that cord, you're ready to go.
Very cool.
Super cool. It's not something we see all the time, but seeing the laundry chute and this, it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, welcome to the first guest suite on this level. Comes with a queen size bed, great size room, hardwood floors. You'll have drywall on the ceiling as well, so they went with a more minimalist tone on this level. And the first detail I want to talk about are these two casement windows facing the front of the home, where we have these breathtaking views. It's so green and lush. Honestly, from this frame, you can't even tell that we're in Los Angeles, we're in Beverly Hills.
Definitely.
Which is great. Your walk-in closet, and then we have a full bathroom here. And instead of a walk-in shower, this one actually features a built-in tub. Again, you have your floating vanity, marble countertops, good size bathroom. Now I want to quickly take everybody back to the hallway so we can check out the second guest suite, which is the junior primary bedroom. It occupies the back section of the right wing, so you have an amazing outdoor space, seamless flow, same hardwood floors, and obviously this room is a little bit more spacious, comes with a king size bed. I like the wood tones with the furniture. You have your walk-in closet on this side, and then coming over here, we have the bathroom. Seamless transition from the hardwood floors to the tile that we have in the bathroom. Then we have the vanity on this side, marble countertops. Again, most of the finishes in this house are kind of minimalist. They don't really have a ton of intricate details, so it's really easy on the eye. Then we have the toilet here, frosted glass behind me for some additional privacy. And on this side, we have the built-in tub with a tile surround, chrome fixtures, really nice bathroom. Now, let's take everybody back to the bedroom so we can check out this amazing balcony that is dedicated to this room. You have your outdoor seating, lounging area. It's a great size outdoor space, and you get to enjoy these views every single day straight from your bedroom, which I personally really like. It doesn't even feel like we're 15 to 20 minutes away from the heart of the city, away from the hustle and bustle. Look how peaceful this is.
It's so beautiful. Now I have a question that I think a lot of people in the audience will also have. We have so much negative space on this balcony for the rest of the first floor. Why is that?
That's a great question. So when you're designing an outdoor space like this, or you're building a space on top of your roof, it has to be rated for it, because now you're putting additional materials, you're having people here, so it needs to be able to carry the weight. What I'm assuming is this section of the roof was framed in a way to accommodate this balcony, which is very spacious. But then when you think about it, the section that's in front of us is cantilevering over. So to make that rated for outdoor use on top, you would have to put so much more extra structural elements and materials. I feel like the developer here felt fine about just having a balcony this side.
Got it.
And in case they left that section open, but they also went out of their way to put gravels here to fill up the space, because keep in mind, water has to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So this roof is normally sloped. We have the drains on the other side, but they wanted it to make it look nice and even. That's why they filled it with gravel, and you still get your space, but yeah, that's why it's negative and empty like that.
I think if I lived here, I would probably make this a garden. What do you think?
You can. I mean, it's a waterproof space, so you can do a lot with it, or keep it minimalist like this. I like the garden idea. Make it a little bit more lively.
Yeah.
All right, another thing, right on the other side, we have the balcony for the primary bedroom. In fact, let's go check out the primary bedroom. I like the fact that the door of this bedroom sets the tone. You get a pivot door for your primary bedroom suite, and it also has an automatic lock as well for the additional privacy. And when you come in, the first space you see is this nice comfortable seating area, which is cozy. And to create some separation between here and the bedroom, they also brought the wood slat detail here as well. I really like this, it's a clever touch. On the other side, you have your linear fireplace, marble clad, and you have your built-ins, bookshelves, LED lighting. It's nice and warm. I'm gonna close this door because otherwise it will drive me crazy. And then on the other side, we have a wet bar. I love a good wet bar, especially in a bedroom.
Definitely.
And I keep talking about this all the time, but how nice it is that when you get thirsty at night, you just come over here, you have your fridge, you have your coffee maker, you have a beautiful balcony. Maybe you want to just make your coffee here and just enjoy being in your bedroom. And then they also have a skylight above. So it's just a nice corner. It provides great utility to the bedroom. And then when you're ready, you go this way. You have your same oak hardwood floors. And look how spacious this bedroom is. Your plaster wall, built-ins around the bed, which again gives a little bit more framing around the bed. And it's also a nice touch with all the art pieces on the back. You have specific lighting above. I don't think that we have the lights on right now, but it looks great. And then when you're ready, you can just flow to the outdoors. You have your motorized fleet with doors here, and the transition between hardwood floors to the balcony here is very seamless. You have a small table here, seating area, fantastic views. This is great. I think this is a cool bedroom experience, being able to wake up to this view every single day, enjoy the outdoors when you need to. Yeah, that's it for the bedroom. Now, let's go back in so we can check out the bathroom. Again, the plaster walls wrap into the space. We have the bathroom to our left, but first I want to take everybody to the walk-in closet. It's definitely good size. We have all these built-ins that wrap the perimeter of the room with an island that's right in the center. Two glass sections here so you can really see what's in these drawers with LED lighting, beautiful light fixture, and every single one of these openings have built-in lighting. Again, you have your drawers, hangers, shoe racks, pretty much what you would expect out of a walk-in closet. And then to bring that additional touch, they have another laundry chute right here.
Nice.
Super clever. And then you have the bathroom on this side. I like this frame. It's great size. Obviously the center section is wide open. We have two separate water closets to my right, and I like this detail a lot. From the camera's perspective, they may look like same color, but actually, Cody, can we pivot to this side? Because we have marble on the bottom, plaster on top, with the reveal detail that we've been seeing throughout the property.
Very nice.
It's a really nice, subtle touch, and I like that the colors are very close, so it's a very light contrast. And then you pivot to the other side, you have a long vanity, big reveal. You have the flat sections here and a two really simple drawer that's right in the center. Brass fixtures with beautiful handles. Your wall sconces, plaster walls, very, very minimalist. And then they brought the same marble to this side, book matched it very subtly. Your freestanding tub, casement window for some ventilation that is also frosted, your skylight above. This is a really nice frame. I really like this.
Yep.
Timeless. This bathroom is going to look beautiful 10, 20 years from now, which is something that I pay attention to, how things are going to age over time, you know?
Definitely.
All right, Cody, let's take everybody to the walk-in shower. Has a steam feature, again, brass fixtures, built-in bench. The same skylight continues to this side, and the brass pops really nice against this light marble. So the contrast is very good. And Cody, can you go to the other side?
I can.
Yes. So satisfying. So satisfying. You have the vent detail. I mean, really nice bathroom. I know we're used to touring a lot of 20, 30, 40 at this point like 50,000 square foot homes. So it's nice to tour a home that is a little bit more compact, has a great layout, and I have to really compliment the overall layout of the property, how it pushes you to interact with the outdoors, and how it makes every single space on the first and second floor to benefit from the amazing backyard and the incredible weather we have here in California. All right, everyone, that's it for the tour. And thank you all so much for joining us on another episode. I hope you enjoyed the tour and all the information that we provided today. And big thanks to the listing agents, Josh Flagg and Spencer Payson, for making this tour possible. And as always, you can find more information about this property in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. Lastly, if you enjoyed our tour, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.